Hey everybody, Paul Bray, Family Friendly Gaming.
And I'm Teen Gamer.
And this is an FFG Top 10. Our Top 10 worst 2D to 3D transitions.
Yeah.
Or you could also say kind of some of the worst 3D games that had been 2D in the previous lifespans. Are you ready to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Sonic 3D Blast is my number 10. Now, I think I remember playing that on one of the Sonic collections. I remember thinking, oh, Sonic in 3D, this must be awesome. Then I played it, and I immediately regretted it.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's one of the... I have a couple games on here. That's one of the ones, and I'll have mine later, that gave me headaches. My number 10 was Bomberman 64. And I'm like, well, Bomberman's kind of 3D with, you know, the above thing and all that. When they put it on Nintendo 64 and tried to put it into like a Mario 64 kind of 3D world, it was just bad. It was horrible. It flopped. A lot of people don't like the Castlevania 64. I didn't really mind that game. I kind of liked it, actually. But Bomberman 64 is horrible.
Funny, my number 9 is Bomberman 64.
My number 9 is Earthworm Jim 3D. Some of y'all may have not even known about this. We had the side-scrolling Earthworm Jim 2D games. They had the violent issue. But when they tried to go 3D, it just did not work. They didn't know what they were doing. They should not have tried.
I mean, it's about as well as my number 8, which is Street Fighter EX Plus. It's fighting.
They wanted to kind of go the Battle Arena Toshiden Tekken route, and it just did not work. My number 8 is Worms 3D. Here's another game where I guess the biggest problem with Worms 3D is not being able to see who you're shooting at or where you're being shot from because of the 3D environment.
I didn't really know that was even a thing until we found out. My number 7 is Bubsy 3D. I think we've mentioned that on other...
Yeah, we have it. We just haven't recorded it yet.
I think we even mentioned it in other top 10s.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Speaking of mentioning, if we're going to talk about 3D, there's no way I could do without saying the Virtual Boy. Now, if I had done the Virtual Boy, I think my entire... If there's 10 games, my entire list would have been Virtual Boy, most likely.
Did they actually have 10 games for Virtual Boy? They may not have 10
That's what I'm saying. If there was, then they would all be on here.
Coming back to the list, my number 7 is Shining Force Neo. You might be like, whoa, what's going on there? Okay, so the Shining Force games were good when they were SRPGs. When they tried other styles, I don't know what Sega was thinking, but it was horrible, and it was kind of more of a 3D Zelda that just did not work.
It wasn't meant for that.
No.
My number 6 is Shinobi 3D. 2D game.
Horrible.
2D game. Everything was optimized to 2D. Once you put it in a 3D environment, that's just a realm of problems.
Yeah. My number 6 is Batman Forever. Kind of a street fight, final fight type of game that just in the previous Batman games, 2D side scrolls have been good.
They were cashing off the abysmal failures of the movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
My number 5 is a bit controversial here, Metroid Prime. Let's think about it, Metroid. When you think Metroid, until Prime, you think 2D, right? Mm-hmm. Hold on, let's just make it a first-person shooter.
Yeah, it did not work. My number 5 would be Mega Man 64. Yeah, a lot of people complain there were too many 2D Mega Man games, but when they tried to make Mega Man go 3D there, it failed horribly. It just did not work.
My number 4 is the other Shining Force game, the Shining Force EXA.
Yeah.
Same reasons. I mean, don't try new styles with things that worked.
Yeah, it was bad. My number 4 is See the Contra Adventure. So you take the side-scrolling shooter Contra, or Super Contra, and say, let's put this in 3D. Did not work. Looked horrible. Played horrible. Bad idea.
Most of the 3D games that started out as good 2D games did that, didn't they?
Well, and a lot of these they tried like in the N64 PlayStation era, and they just did not work right.
My number 3, been talked about before, Worms 3D. I like the Worms series, but if it controls that poorly, I don't think I want anything to do with it.
No, it was pretty bad. My number 3 is what we were talking about before, the Street Fighter EX Plus. Just miserable fighting game. They didn't know what they were doing with that one.
Now, my number 2, for every rule there's an exception. So, let's calm down there about Mario 64. I'm talking about Mario. Because what I'm used to is the standard 2D side-scrolling platformer. okay, people say like 64. I don't know why people liked it. I don't know why people liked anything but the 2D. Just, it doesn't work with the other stuff.
Not for you, yeah.
Well, when you consider, I play Mario Maker, and that's all they have. And then I try to go play a 3D game, all my techniques are just gone.
You know what they need to make? They need to make a Mario Maker RPG. So like the Super 7 Stars and the Mario 7 Stars.
Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, if you could do your own RPG with Maker.
We call that RPG Maker.
Yeah, well, the same time about the Mario one, but my number 2 is Bubsy 3D. It had the, I don't know why people like Resident Evil, but I don't get this. You have to rotate around before you can move a certain direction. So one button rotates you, and then I don't understand why you can't just go that direction. Why they couldn't have the controls make you go that way. Bubsy 3D has that, and it's just horrible.
Who knows?
Your number 1.
Fire Emblem Echoes. At first I was like, okay, 3D dungeon's cool. After you spend about 40 of the 60 hours it takes to beat the game in those 3D dungeons with terrible graphics, you're like, I would just prefer what they did in Fates, where you just select a battle. There wasn't none of this 3D enemies hiding, popping out, getting preemptive strikes.
And my number 1 is the Sonic 3D Blast. We already talked about it. It just, the idea of trying to make Sonic go fast, but he has to stop to jump and hit something in this kind of isometric 3D world was just miserable.
We really haven't had a successful Sonic 3D.
It gave me a headache too. I mean, Sonic 06, you could put Sonic 06 on this list too.
I would think Sonic Adventure 2 would have been an okay 3D, but that's, every rule is an exception.
Yeah. So that's all the thoughts I have. Any more thoughts?
Yes. Leave your speeches about how Mario and Metroid are the best games in the world down in the comments section. We'll read it, maybe. And
give us a like, please.
Yeah, like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
I want to thank everyone for watching and say, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.